Jeff. Funky hiding home fish. Stupid fresh flying Jeff. Funky hiding.
There can only be one.
Hi, guys. Welcome to a very special Fish versus Fish holiday edition. And we have our normal guests, or our normal co-host, Dr. Anthony and Whip. But down here, we've got Rack Cross coming in to celebrate Fish versus Fish not Halloween edition, Easter edition.
Wow.
And Skipper should be here, but he's involved, I think he said, a sleep study that gets out at 9 o'clock. So he's going to be driving home and he might be a little late. But while we're just starting off, I'm going to give you guys a heads up on where I am at my demonetization thing. I talked to Jeremy from, what's Jeremy's name? What's his channel's name, Whip?
Aquarium Domain.
Aquarium Domain. Thank you.
Yeah.
Completely blacked out. Look, Whip and I have Rack and I have the exact same bandana on.
Hey, look at that.
That was old school.
That picture
is.
was old school.
Well, and he said that there are a lot of people using AI to make dozens of videos or shorts that are very similar. And so they're cracking down on that because they think that and I'm taking this as a compliment, that they think my work is good enough to be AI quality. But I went and I deleted about 950 shorts yesterday, and that was very painful. I mean, that was really painful because I was thinking I spend about a half hour to an hour on each one every day. So that's like probably anywhere from 400 to 600 hours that I just deleted. So sad.
That's a
miserable.
lot.
Yeah.
And breezy. I mean, that's a lot of shorts to get rid of.
Yeah. Well, I used to be at I think I was at 1,800 videos, and now I'm at 937.
Reset.
So hopefully I'm in compliance. I think I deleted all the duplicates. You know, whenever I saw the jokes were always different jokes with different voices and different words, but it was the same video. So now my shorts will probably not look as cute and I won't get as many subs from them, but I'll just be doing every day. It'll be a new random cat look with my cat videos, and none of my cat people are probably watching anyway. So I'll be back hopefully in a month with the shorts.
Did you get rid of your Daisy Dukes or what?
I don't know.
Those are shorts.
Those are shorts.
Shorts. Oh,
See,
gosh,
that's why I
yeah.
said it was breezy when you got rid of them all too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went.
Oh.
Do you want me to say hellos? Or are you? Are you? I didn't know if you were done. Are you?
Yeah. Why don't you say hello to everybody, and
All right.
I will
Get your ducks
this
in a
set
row.
up.
Yeah. All right. So Savelle Steve was the first one in the house, and then followed closely by our own Dr. Anthony and Budget Bonsai. This fella right here, right there. Cat House, Toonie Loon, Uncle Smiley, Dave-O, Nancy B in Tennessee. That doesn't have quite the same ring as Boots and Kits and Boots and Kits and Boots and Kits. Hey, look at that.
He's here.
Wow, we got a whole bunch of Californians.
Wash it. And we got Larry D. We got
Is Larry D
Cheryl.
from Tennessee?
No, Larry
No,
D
he's-
is not from
He's
Tennessee.
from north of Tennessee.
Ohio, I think. Yeah.
Oh, now he's in
And
Ohio. Yes, he was in Indiana.
yeah, Ohio, pretty sure. Fish Dreams and Miss Dee Dee. Hi, Miss Dee Dee. Vinoski.
Hi, Dee.
And
I'm wearing a
Denny.
Bucky
Hello,
shirt.
hello. Hey, you're wearing a Bucky shirt. Skills
Yeah, I
and
want to do a
Garden,
holiday
Kate,
shirt since
Nathan.
it's the holiday weekend.
Nathan's here. I'm scrolling.
Did you say hi to
Might have
Steph?
got every.
Stephanie from Aquaria Life is here.
I didn't get to her yet. I don't think. Merrick is here. Mexicali
Merrick.
is here.
My Czech
Benjamin's here. There she is. Aquaria Life Steph. How are you doing? Brett and Lightcap. 310 Aquatics.
Stephen P.
Stephen P.
Stephen
123.
P.
Stephen P.
Scotty the Fish Freak. Hello, Mr. Short, girthy President Scotty. How are you?
The goat.
Oh,
He's the
we've got the Tub Pond Handbook. Dr. Ted Coletti in the house.
Uh-oh. There can only be one.
There can only be one.
Can only be
But
one
there is only
doctor.
one because you're retired and he's not.
Oh, okay.
Christopher Junkin. And still scroll. Oh, there's the Zenny, although she may not really be here. Or she's in two places at once.
Zenger.
Look
I
what-
like that.
Guess what I've got right here?
What do you got?
What you got? What is it?
The Pawn Handbook.
Oh, yeah.
I got the pond book.
Oh, yeah, there it is, right there.
I ordered it directly from Amazon.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
all.
you keep it,
Well, I just
you
got
can-
it, so I haven't actually read it. But
if you
I
if you bring
literally
it to the Clash, I know the guy that wrote that might even sign it for you.
that would be
Maybe.
awesome. I wonder if he could write a tip or two in it. That's like a secret tip.
You know, the
Don't
one
stand
tip
up-
he'll probably write, make
don't stand
sure
up in a
you
canoe.
send your supposed friends their guppies.
If Ted wants some guppies, I'll send them to him right away. Anybody that has a name like Ted, Ed, Fred, Jed, I'm hooking them up.
Oh, we've got the incomparable Oink Master Supreme Forever.
Oh,
I thought she was
my
going to
gosh.
the movies.
I think she might be in a movie theater right now. Maybe she's in between. Hello,
She
dear.
can't be. She's got too many responsibilities today. She can't be watching a movie.
She's seen 3 movies today, and they were all movies that I really like.
Well, okay. Are
Nancy
you going to
B.
tell us
Well-
what they are, or are you going to just keep us in suspense?
Okay.
Well-
Men at Work is the one that I've seen, and it is the new Jason Statham movie, and it's really good. I love The Beekeeper. If you saw that, it's not the same story as The Beekeeper, but it's a guy that goes out and beats up a bunch of people for good. And oh gosh,
So every
the other
Jason
ones were all
Statham
action
movie ever
movies
made.
too that I liked.
While
The
you're
other two
thinking,
were action,
Cheryl, it jumped on me and I put her name right in my focus. Ross Baltimore is here. And somebody
Doing
else
a
is
water
here.
change.
Alishon is here.
I forgot to get my dice ready. So, Rack, how we do this is we do fish versus fish. I'm going to bring up an individual fish. You
Okay.
don't get to know what fish is coming next, but we're trying to decide what is this week is going to be the best Easter fish.
Are
Or
we drafting our best fish team?
Well, we've got I've made a team already of 10.
Oh, you
Fish.
already have the team. We're just ranking them.
Yes.
Okay.
And then, so what you do is you get to rank them between 1 and 10. And if you like them all, you can give them all 10s.
Okay.
I mean, we know you're a fish lover. Now, is that a darter up on your wall?
No, Doc, can you recognize that? It's some abstract fish swimming on my wall.
Looks like a salmon,
Close. It's in the family.
a trout.
That's a
then.
tiny little salmon.
Well,
So
looks
it's a
big.
CPD?
Brook trout.
Yeah, it's a trout.
Brooke.
Oh,
CP.
darn it.
CPDs
I
aren't in
don't
the
think
same
that-
family as trout.
yet.
No, but
Oh,
they look. A lot of people call them the baby trouts.
There's a redfish over there. There it is. The redfish tailing. And some artwork I did on the underbills of hats with brown trout and brook trout.
Oh, wow.
You'd like that brook trout hat, Ed. It's a Bucky's hat.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. That is sharp. That is so cool. You know what? I might try to steal that idea and do it myself.
I'm
Does
sharing
that
it with
really-
you and hoping that you will.
Boots and Cats
Okay,
is
let's-
here. Booty booty.
Well, now what we do is we all get to do a 1 through 10, and then
1
we're
through
going to let
10.
the crowd source also. So the crowd gets to chip in their 2 cents. And then normally we have Skipper adding up the score right away because he's good at adding, and I'm not. We've proven to. But since we don't have Skipper yet, what we'll do is we'll just run through real quick, make him shotgun it real quick wherever he shows up, and then he'll have to add it as he goes. But
Did you
whoops,
see
what
Nancy?
happened here? What did
Nancy
Nancy
says-
just say?
She said after all your rules, and then she says, and then Ed shames us for all our ratings if we don't agree.
I like it, Nancy D. Come
You're not
on, what's
supposed to
wrong
figure
with you
that stuff
people?
out.
What's wrong with you people? Get a load of these people.
Okay, well, now here's the first one. And now I just randomly I put them all on. I made all the pictures up on my phone, and then I sent them to Facebook, and then I just randomly downloaded them all. So this is the order in which they're coming up. So I really didn't want to start with this one, but this one is our only Australian one, I believe,
Wait,
on the list today.
Wait,
Wait a minute, wait,
before
wait.
you do that, so the theme, what is,
The
what,
theme is Easter.
okay.
So now, if it helps you, you could say, if I'm making an Easter fish tank, this is the fish I want for my Easter fish tank. Maybe Rack is going to paint an Easter theme painting, and he's got to pick a fish for Easter, and he's got to pick one of these 10 to paint,
Oh,
to represent Easter.
in
Are
my
there-
mind already, I'm giving the colorful fish an advantage, like Easter eggs.
Yes. So
So are these pictures
And-
that you picked, Ed? Are you biased? Do you pick a bad picture of a fish you don't like say a glowfish?
But these glowfish are not in the competition, but they do look Eastery. So I
And
just
I
showed
just
them.
changed my mind. I don't like Easter egg fish.
But no, the glowfish are not in the Easter egg thing because for some reason we talked about glowfish like a week or two ago, and I don't want to talk about the same fish. So I guess a disqualification for fish versus fish. I don't like to talk about a same fish within a month of another fish. So maybe if there was, and you know what? I didn't check. I hope there's not a fish actually called the Jesus fish. Is there a Jesus fish?
No.
I think there's a
Okay, good.
lizard, but not a fish.
Yeah, there's
So,
a lizard is
can-
nickname,
That's
yeah.
Bootsy
Okay,
is
this-
asking for just a little bit of clarification over the long, drawn-out explanation. She says, so we're rating based on how much we'd like the fish for an Easter tank rather than favorite in general. That's what you're looking for, right? We're going to build an Easter tank, not necessarily with fish we love, but with the fish that we think would be a good Easter fish
Yeah, like what fish reminds you of Easter?
of Easter.
Okay. So
Got it.
the first one is like when you hear this name, could you think Easter? And this is our Australian fish. It's a goby, the Roman nose goby. They get about
Oh,
7
those
inches
Romans.
long. Yeah, well, you got to have Romans if you hear the story. So that's how he gets put in there. These guys like to eat mostly algae. They prefer to be on sand, even though this one's on rocks, because they like to shift through the sand and eat whatever is living in the sand. They get about 7 inches tall. They're called a Roman because of their nose. And I don't know, is that really a Roman shaped nose?
Nancy's on fire.
I don't know. So that is our starter fish for the night. And I'll just start off by saying I'm going to give the Roman nose a 5 because I love gobies, but this is a big goby and kind of a blah goby. So and you know what? Romans were kind of the bad guy in the story. So you know what? I'm going to give him a 4. Okay. So now, Rack, you're next.
Okay.
You-
I'm going to give it a
What
5. 4 because I
5.
didn't like the fish. 6 because Romans is a book in the Bible, if I recall correctly.
Oh.
So that's kind of an Easter
Yeah.
connection. So I'm
Darn
going
it,
to
I
bump
didn't
up my 4 to a 5.
Okay. Good job. How about what say you, Whip?
Well, I was going to give the fish a 3, and then you brought in the Romans, who I didn't even know were involved with Easter because I don't know the story. So then I went to a 2, and then when Rack brought up religion, it instantly dropped to a 1. So
We might have really low scores tonight from Whip because Easter's kind of religious. But you know,
What do you mean?
you
Easter
know what
Easter's
good
kind
it
of
is.
about an egg
Romans
laying
were
rabbit,
like
that's
really
all I
cool
know.
empire.
Easter is
they're-
religious. I mean, it's not kind of religious.
Yeah, and it's
Depends on who
the
you
Bi-
ask. The Easter Bunny's got his own ideas.
Exactly,
Yeah, I mean,
Stephen.
I just
Exactly.
they've
He doesn't
never
know
been
the
able to
story.
explain to me how a rabbit lays eggs. So
Haven't you seen the Cadbury Easter commercials? Bark, 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 bark. Yeah, we
gotta wiggle your nose.
Keisters.
I love science.
Well, what do you say, Doc?
I give it a 2.
2. Have you ever seen one of these things in real life?
Never have.
I don't think I have either. I didn't even know about them until I looked it up. So, very cool. We're going to leave Skipper alone because he's not here yet.
I don't know that he's coming.
And
I don't think he was planning on being here.
Well, he called me and said that he was going to make
Oh.
it after all, but he
Okay.
was doing a sleep study, so he was going to be late.
Yeah, that was the last thing I
It's-
saw
it
him
got-
type out.
Yeah, his meeting ended at 9, so he thought he could make it. But so we've got, Dr. Anthony, do you want to be the counter or do we want to make
Sure.
Whip be the counter?
Sure, I can do it.
Okay. I was
Okay.
gonna say,
Number 8.
Okay.
So what we do is we roll dice,
Okay, 1.
Rack, and this determines which people get to give us their score. So the 8th person and the 2nd person to give the score. And you know what, Whip, can you be the guy who says start and stop in the chat? Because that's
Sure.
normally a Skipper job too. I guess
Yep.
Skipper does a lot of work on these shows.
Okay,
He's
shut
very
up so I can do
underappreciated.
this. Number
do you want me
2
to when
was
do you want me to go?
Seville
what-
Steve was 3.
We want number 2 and number 8.
Yeah, I got it. Seville Steve was number 2, and he gave it a
Oh,
3.
okay.
And Uncle Smiley was number 8. He gave it a 1.
Oh, Smiley. You know what? I think I can add these scores up. So we got 10, 12, 14. That might be the lowest score we've ever had for a fish.
Why did you pick that fish? Because it was a Roman nosed fish. Okay, got it.
It had
I'm
the
on board
Roman.
now. Let's go.
I think the common goldfish may have been the lowest score up until now for a good beginner fish. I think. Okay, well, let's see if this one does any better.
Now
This
your
one-
bandana
now-
reminds me, Ed. Your bandana reminds me of an Easter basket now that we've started talking about it.
Well, thank you. This bandana was a Rack Cross bandana. Rack Cross used to. Do you want to tell us about your or was it a club or organization or kind of a group meeting?
It was just a group of YouTubing fish keepers and helping each other out. It was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. About
Community builder.
6 years ago, long time ago. But now, if you don't like these fish, Rack Cross helped me, and here's proof. The spade tail triple cross betta.
What's the highest score?
A 1 through 10.
10.
So it gets on there for the triple cross because there were 3 crosses at Easter. Or the cross. Or because we have Rat Cross here and that's his last name. Okay, so Rat Cross is going with a number 10 right off
I
the
may
bat.
never do
And
that
you know what?
again, but man, that fish gets it.
That is a beautiful fish. I mean, did you guys see how pretty this thing is? I had never heard of one of these before. I mean, it's just another variant of a betta, but just an incredibly beautiful one.
Thank you,
And
Killer Kitty. Likewise.
every shade was beautiful. There was lots of colored ones, all sorts of colors. I just went with this one because it was easiest to put the words on the thing. What did Killer Kitty say? She give it a 10?
She said Rat
she
Cross
did.
is always a 10.
Ah, that's sweet.
You got
Oh,
the best
what?
people
I'm gonna-
in your end.
Sorry, Killer Kitty, I missed you come in. And Lady
I'm gonna-
Rorschach is here. I haven't seen you in a minute.
That's awesome. I'm gonna
And
give this an 8.
ALA's here?
It would be a little higher, but I've had bettas. It just doesn't seem like they have the lifespan that they used to have because they're getting prettier, but I think they get sicklier. And I just try to stay away from bettas for that one reason. But otherwise, that's an incredibly beautiful fish. It might be the highest score for me tonight. Okay, Whip, what do you say about this beautiful betta?
So bettas.
Yep. Do you want to see it again?
I mean, you could show it to me again. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with a betta.
Look
I
at how
love their
beautiful
little
that betta is.
personalities. I love the idea of bettas. I hate that they've been overbred to the point where they only live 2 years now. If you're
You
lucky,
could put that in with your guppies and control your guppy population.
yeah, for a minute and then they die.
And this is a little bit faster one too because its tail isn't so crazy huge.
I will still give it a high ranking of I'm gonna give it a 6. And the only reason it's that low is because of its high mortality rate. So short lifespan, low or high. You know what I meant.
Yeah,
I've had
beautiful.
Too many vodkas.
Okay, Dr. Anthony, what do you think about this?
I'll give it an
Beautiful.
ocho.
Ucho, what's that mean?
Ocho.
0.
8?
10.
8.
That means
10.
10.
Ocho
8.
85.
Bozo.
Hey, well, I don't know Latin very well.
That's not Latin. That's Spanish.
It's all the same to me. It's foreign.
Because I don't understand any of
it.
Okay, number 3 and number 5.
1, 2. Seville Steve is number 3. He gave it an 8.
Wow, Steve is get hot tonight with 2 big numbers.
And Dee Dee Findan gave it a 9.
Woo! Okay, so that's 17,
You guys are
15,
ranking this on
18.
1988 bettas, and not 2025.
Ooh, that got a 50. That's going to be a hard one to beat, I think, tonight. But maybe there's a neat one here. Let's see how much you guys like this fish. It has 2 common names. Most people know it as a glass cat, but it's also known as a ghost cat. And when I see those, I say, holy ghost cat, that's crazy awesome. And so that's why it got into the Easter one, because it's a holy ghost cat, minus the holy part. But since you can see through it, it's kind of holy just by looking through it.
I don't know.
So
Ed.
these guys, they live 7 to 8 years. They'll get 4 to 6 inches. They like soft water. I haven't had them since the 80s. I probably should get them again. And you might see it in a Halloween version of the show too. So let's start off with Dr. Anthony this time.
I
Yeah.
give it a 7.
A 7? Where are those guys from?
They're Southeast Asia.
Oh, okay. Well, bummer. I wish they were Peru. How about you, Rack?
I think I'm going to add a point because it conforms to the theme, but it's still not going to help it very much, even though it's a Holy Ghost fish. I'm not feeling filled with the Spirit, so it's going to be 3.
Oh, gosh. Okay. What do you say, Whip?
I am going to follow Mr. Bonsai's example with a 3, which is what I was
Oh.
going to ride with if you had called me first. So 3.
What? You think they're pretty neat, so I'm going to give it a 6.
Tell me when to say stop.
It stopped now, so
Yep. We got number 4 and number 8.
okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Benjamin Peters at number 4 is a 3.
And a
3 for Ben. Ben doesn't think they're very neat either.
And the 8th voter is Chicali Fish Keeper Jorge at a 2.
Hooray!
A 2.
A 2.
Well, you know,
Hey,
I
Holly.
was terrible. I used to always spell his name with a G, and then I found out that you're supposed to spell it with a J, and I'm sorry.
That's why it's
George.
Jorge.
So did Lefty change his name, or is this a new dude?
No, this is Lefty.
No.
Hey, Lefty.
Where's Lefty up
Lefty.
there? I don't see him.
Aquarium
It says
and
Lefty.
Lefty.
Ed is scraping the bottom of the barrel tonight, Lefty. Glad you could join us. I was talking about me, not you.
Ed, what do
You
you have
two.
your dice going up to?
I have them at 8 and 10. Should I add a bigger dice?
I think so.
Both of them should go up to like 17.
Okay. Well, how about we do a 20? I'll get rid of the 8er.
Do them both at 20.
Just hope you don't get
Okay.
anything over 17.
No, do both
I have a
at
10
20.
on there right now. How about 12 and 20?
Okay, 12 and 20.
Jay Oliver.
Hey, Jay. John. I don't know why I said Jay.
Killer
Okay.
wants to know,
plus-
can you breed them? Can you breed those? Is that something that can be bred?
I haven't heard of it.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if they're breeding them in Southeast Asia or they're all wild caught. Yep, that's Lefty, he said.
What happened to Lefty? Lots of numbers.
Okay,
19 and 12.
that's fine, Ed. Ed, that's fine. We don't need numbers now.
What, huh?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was adding when we were talking.
Yep.
That one got a 23. So that was only half as nice as the beta. But it's awesome to see Lefty in the house. Oh, he might be on Easter break.
I
Spring
mean,
break.
they call it spring break now, the separation of church and state.
Well, he is a teacher at a Catholic school.
Okay, so it'd be Easter break for sure then.
Okay, let me see. Now here,
Wow, you can backtrack fast. That was a quick retreat.
speaking of Catholic stuff, we have a Catholic one joining us with the Bloody Mary shrimp.
Oh, God.
I don't know for sure how Bloody Mary got its name, except that they're really red. And the story behind Bloody Mary is if you look into a mirror and say Bloody Mary 3 or 5 times, you'll be cursed. Or an evil spirit will see you or something.
Or if
So
you
that's the
drink
story
enough-
of the Bloody Mary.
Or if you drink enough Bloody Marys, you'll be cursed the next day.
Yes.
Also,
Oh my
true.
gosh. Or if it comes up, it might be that day. I don't know. But the Bloody Mary shrimp. And I'm going to start it off. I have never had Bloody Marys. I've just had red shrimp. You know, what are the cherry shrimp? And I would love to have Bloody Marys. I'm going to say an 8. Rack, what do you say about a Bloody Mary shrimp?
I give it a baseline 7. Solid aquarium inhabitant. Love those fish or shrimp. The color, they do so much good in the aquarium. I think beginners do pretty well with those. Readily available, not too expensive. It conforms to the theme. I'm going to bump that up 7.
Nice. You know what's really weird is I wrote 7 down before you got done talking. I don't know how I did that.
I already have his number.
I don't know how I did that. Okay, Whip. I didn't write anything down for you.
Okay, well, I know this will come to a huge surprise to everyone, but I hate shrimp.
Oh, if they were called huges, it'd be a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Prawns.
I
prawns.
literally, I cannot figure out why people enjoy having those in their tank. But on the other hand, I do thoroughly love a good Bloody Mary. So I think that evens out at a 5. And then because it follows the theme, I'll give it a 6.
Well played, Whip. Well played. That was objective. That was very.
Wow. That's the best shrimp score I think Whip's ever getting.
It's probably the only
Hey, Dr.
How about I'd give it a, I won't speak in Spanish this time, Ed. I'll give it a Sheva.
So a 3.
No, Sheva is 7 in Hebrew.
Oh,
that one, hey, Skip is in the
I
house.
thought that was a 3
Sure.
in West Coast speech. You know, like when you guys go, how's it hanging?
Okay.
Chevin. Like Kevin. Okay.
Is
And
Skipper
then-
in the back waiting for us? Because
No,
here.
he hasn't said nothing yet. He's
he
just
said
in the
nope.
chat.
Okay.
I have it scrolled to the bottom, so when he comes up,
Lefty.
oh my gosh, I'm gonna re-roll this one just because the odds. I've got a 20 and a 16 on here randomly, and it was a 1 and a 2. So we're gonna make
Love it.
this a 7
How does that happen?
and a 16.
So
That's what would happen if I had advantage in Dungeons and Dragons and I got to roll
Skip-
twice. I get
Okay.
a 1 and a 2.
So Lefty
Because
is a
he's-
7, and Lefty gave it a
Lefty.
1.
Lefty got a 7, and who gave it a 1?
Lefty gave it a 1.
Oh,
Oh, Lefty got on
Lefty
the down
does
elevator.
not like tomatoes.
Because there wasn't 16, I'll go to the last number who voted, and that was Spikes with a 10.
Oh,
we went
we had one severity and the other.
right, kind of like my
15,
reasoning.
28,
So Skipper is very exhausted from a day of sleeping. Apparently,
39.
he's going to bed.
Okay, so we just won't worry about Skipper, and we'll just use his
Good night,
square
Skipper.
for math. Night, Skipper. Thanks for saying hi to us all. I hope everything goes well.
Hello,
And you
Holly
guys
Gibbs.
too.
Okay, well, here is another part of the story. Judas got 30 pieces of silver for turning in Jesus. So we've got
That's pretty
the
good,
silver
Ed.
dollar.
I give Chattanooga Ed a 10.
So would have you expected to see a silver dollar?
No, that was a good pull.
And you know what? I think silver dollars are actually pretty cool fish. They get good size, so you want a big tank, but they're pretty neat. And this is one of those fish that nobody ever talks about. If you got one of those, I don't normally like those lights that change colors, and kind of look like a disco light. This is one of the cool fish with a disco light because they'll reflect the different colors being shot down on them. So
A good substitute for a glowfish, then.
better, yeah. Except these will destroy all the plants in your fish tank. That's the one bad thing is you better have plastic plants.
Everybody's got that uncle in the family.
So I'm going to give it an 8.
I think I am.
Well, I'm
now.
giving a lot of 8s tonight. Okay, Whip, let's say you. What do you think of the silver dollar?
I am actually a fan of the silver dollar, seeing as how I can't grow a plant to save my life anyway. And they get along pretty well with all my fish. They're pretty hardy. I'll give it an 8.
Right.
Strong.
They even live when you take all the water out of the tank, right, Whip?
That's right. You can drain it all the way down right to the gravel.
And
then
Dr.
say,
Anthony.
oh, yeah, that's right. I did that, didn't I?
I give it a 3.
Ooh. What don't you like about the silver dollar?
Well, it's just a blah fish. Some of the silver dollar relatives, like the red hook,
The red hook. Yeah.
the banda negra, the black banded silver dollar, are much better looking. Just a normal silver dollar with that silver coloration. It's the minnow of the of that family.
What's the silver dollar that has little gray circles that almost look like polka dots, and they're almost perfectly perfect on their body? It's really neat. It's not random polka dots. It's almost like they're perfectly spotted.
I've never seen those.
I saw them at a fish store out over where when Whip moves to Tennessee, it's in Crossville, and they had them there, and I was like, "These are neat."
Yes,
And they said,
Jeremy, I'm an anti-silver dollar right.
"Okay,
Dollar
well, Rack, what do you
Hey,
say
Jeremy.
of the silver dollar? You
I
could have
think,
30 of these."
I believe everyone likes a fistful of dollars, and that would be 5. And that was excellent work you did weaving that into the theme. So I'm going to stick with 5.
All right.
You gain 0 points.
And change your dice to 10 and 10
Oh, okay.
because less people
Well, that
are
one was
voting
too.
now.
I lost them all. I got to figure out how to delete again. Trash. Whoops. And trash. And then how about 12 and 10?
Okay.
Just in case, because it never seems to be a 12.
Garcia's here. Hey, Garcia.
Garcia.
Danny
We've
V
got
is in
number
the house.
8
8
and number
and
2.
2. Okay, number 2 was Lady Rorschach, who gave it a 2.
She loves the Brontosaurus.
And the 8th voter was Holly Gibbs, who also gave it a 2.
You guys don't
Holy-
even know what you're talking about.
And
What's a Brontosaurus? Fictional character in the Flintstones?
yes.
No, that's Brontosaurus burgers.
You know what I don't know though, Holly, what is your favorite dinosaur? Because, I know Lady Rorschach's, but I don't know Holly's favorite dinosaur, and it seems kind of wrong.
Why?
Well, I really like dinosaur talk. Maybe we'll have to do a fish versus fish dinosaur edition.
Definitely. That's your theme. Yeah.
No, we can do fish versus fish, ancient fish, very old fish that are still alive today.
My Bisher is
Sea
the best
lions.
one in there.
Rope fish, gars,
Jellyfish.
coelacanths. What?
Okay.
fish?
Well, we'll talk about that maybe on somebody's birthday.
Okay.
We missed your birthday. When's your birthday, Whip?
It's coming.
Okay, well maybe we'll do it then. Okay,
It's
so
like in November.
let's see. 16. Oh heck. 16, 32, 34, 36
No way,
for
Lady
the silver
Rorschach.
dollar.
No, ma'am.
Now,
Thanks, Lefty.
here's a fish that most people know by a different name. Most people call it the common carp, but it's also known as the Judas fish. Look at that Judas fish.
Never heard it called that.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I know. I had to do some digging. But
I
they
do
used
have
to
a
be the
pond
Judas
full of
fish.
them, though. The ornamental
Well,
variety is beautiful.
yeah, yours are awesome. This is more of the uglier guys. But
Zero's the lowest, Lefty.
let's see. Well, let's go with Rack. Convince us to pick the Judas fish.
Well, the Judas fish, another bad character in the theme, and it did, however, introduce me to a lot of passion that I have for fish as a young angler. Walking the banks of a small lake, catching those things was very exciting. They weren't good to eat, so it was catch and release. And just because in the program of rating fish, it's hard for me to rate it very highly, but it had a positive impact in my life. I'm going to go with a 5.
5. You know what? They were the first fish I caught too with corn.
Yeah, they like corn.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go next. And like Rack said, they were fun to catch when I was a kid. Super easy. And he's right. They're terrible to eat, but as a check, I should like them. So Merrick, if you're still there, he probably enjoys eating them because they're the 3 days of Christmas. One of the days of Christmas dinners is carp. So luckily we've skipped that one and we just do ham and duck in our family. We do it all on one day. We don't even do 3 days here in America. But I'm going to give it a 5 also, just because I thought it was interesting. Okay, Doc, what do you say about carp?
I'll give you an interesting fact. The most eaten fish around the world is carp.
That is
So not just the Czechs.
Nope. But given that, I give it a 1.
Oh, gosh. Do they have those in Peru?
No.
You know, maybe we should do something about that since it's such a popular one that they like to eat.
No.
Maybe you could catch some and throw them in the river and then they'd have a good food supply.
They have plenty of food with pacu,
Oh, you don't want them eating pet fish.
well, peacock bass, the big catfish, arapima, arowana,
Can't eat them. Oh my gosh.
plecos.
Okay, let's go to Whip before he gets upset about all these wonderful fish getting eaten.
I've never caught a carp, but I have before Dr. Anthony stole my thunder. Not that I knew it was over the course of the world, but I have talked to plenty of anglers that walk the shoreline that eat carp on a regular basis. So I would, I wouldn't want one, but if they are that desirable for a food choice, give it a 5. Plus, it's big and it's not gonna, it's not one of those little mini fish that you keep bringing up.
Hello.
Yeah, and it's
Susan.
not going to eat any of your plants because you don't have any plants.
That's right.
So that's another bonus point.
Hey, Susan's here.
So we got 4. Hi,
4 and
Susan.
10. Okay, so I will get on it.
Hurry up, quicker.
1, 2,
I
3,
should've-
4. So our fourth one is Seville Steve,
Oh my gosh, Steve, you are hot tonight.
and he gave it a 0.
What? Are you sure it's not a 10 and he just forgot to put the 1 there?
Nope. And Lady Rorschach is number 10, and she gave it the biggest score of the night, a 1.
And just so Susan knows, I should have called Susan up today and asked her for an Easter fish. What we're doing is we're rating the top 10 Easter fish.
Fish that have common names that are Easterish.
And was that Lady Warshak that said that? Because I'm just writing down the
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, she's been hot 2 in a row. Okay. The next fish is a little better than the the 30 pieces of silver that Judas got, the angelfish.
Very
This is
good.
an angelfish. I love this guy. This one's got the pearl scale on. I love pearl scale angels.
You could call it a gold angelfish.
Yes. Yes.
We could have done a silver tetra as well.
So just a pretty fish, and I love angels, and angels are a cool guy. I'm gonna give this angel an 8. Because if it wasn't for the angels at Easter, it wouldn't be as much fun. Okay, Dr. Anthony, what do you say about the gold or the angelfish?
Angels were the second fish that I ever bred. First were guppies, but you don't breed them, they breed on their own. And second was angelfish. So I'll give it an 8 because of it has a special place in my heart.
That's cool. Okay, Whip, what say you?
Well, I was going to give it a 10, but then you brought in the angel aspect of it, and it brought it down to a 6.
Oh,
Oh,
you are really anti-religion, aren't you?
It's such a waste of time. But I do love them anyway, so I'll bring it back up to an 8.
okay. Whip gives the angel an 8, right up there with the silver dollars. And
You know
now
what?
it's
That's right. I
Raph's turn.
did give the. Let me go one more. Give it a 9, just because it is better than a silver dollar.
Okay, you got a
Just
9.
Don't tell
And
my silver
now-
dollar.
Well, and the nice thing is they won't destroy your plants. They'll just lay eggs on them.
Right.
What say you,
Which-
Rack?
The angelfish was in my first aquarium. I kept it very well, loved it, got big, showy, but bothered some of my other fish. So I can only go 7 on the angelfish.
That's a neat one, though. You could get a tattoo like that. That looks pretty cool.
I may have one. You don't know.
That's true. Only your wife knows.
Or
She
his
ain't
barber.
telling.
Okay.
She ain't telling.
And time to roll.
Roll.
Right.
It's time to roll. Everybody
Let's see what
stop.
the Bill Steve says this time. We got number 5 and number 7
Okay.
for the
1, 2,
angelfish.
3, 4, 5. Oinky is number 5. She gave it a
Woohoo!
10.
Oh,
Atta
sweet.
girl.
And
That's
7
my love.
was the second number, correct?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Nancy B in Tennessee gave it an 8.
Woohoo!
Wow.
Be high
Some
with
big
numbers.
scores by the girls, bringing them up. Good job. So we got 15
He called
and
me a girl?
17 makes it 32, then 42, then 50. Oh my gosh. That just tied the spade tail 3 crossed, or the triple cross. I abbreviated what I wrote. I just put a 3 cross instead of a triple cross. Beta or beta. So here we go with another one. And I wonder if you guys are going to be able to figure this one out for Easter. But I have the Phantom Pleco. I picked, and you guys can start thinking, but I picked them because they're kind of pastel-y, and they're sometimes hard to look for. So you got to search your tank like an Easter egg. You got to look for them. But when you find them, they're real pretty, and you're always happy when you see them. So I picked the Phantom Pleco. And it could be green or blue. This one just happens to be blue.
Ed,
Okay.
Susan-
We'll start with
Susan
Whip.
Susan has messaged you.
Oh,
I don't know that it needs to be taken care of this minute, but I just thought I'd let you know.
you know
as
what?
far as the-
I can't go to it because I'd lose my dice. I'm so sorry,
Oh.
Susan. Darn it. I'll look at it as soon as we're done. The
I
Phantom
don't know.
Pleco.
I like
And it's getting there because of the
Plecos.
Easter egg aspect.
I give it like a 7.
A 7 for Whipster.
For no reason other than I do like plecos, but they poop a lot.
Yeah, well, at least the Phantoms aren't huge. You know, they max out about at 7 inches. So, and they'll probably be more around 5 because 7 is a huge one.
About
So-
that big.
A Phantom Pleco? You mean wide?
Never mind, Ed.
That's
Funky got it. I'm sure
7
Oinky
inches
got
in
it.
in women inches. Because in man
Okay.
inches, that is like
What-
this.
Doc, what do you say about the Phantom Plecos?
I'll give it an 8. It's a pretty pleco.
It is.
Do they come out? I don't know that much about them. I would have probably given it more if I knew it comes out once in a
No,
while.
most plecos don't come out.
No, like
He
just
hides, they'll hide a
Except,
lot under the.
except the common giant pleco.
They hide like an Easter egg.
I see what you did there.
Well, that's why I picked
Gianna
it.
no shoes.
Okay, well, Rack, what do you say about this Phantom Pleco?
What I feel about that in this fish versus fish head-to-head combat battle is 0. But I feel bad about myself for feeling that any fish is a 0. So I'm going to go with a 1. And then again, congratulate and compliment you for working into the theme. Give it its final bump to a 2.
There you go.
Okay. This is
I
a
love the
Pleco
reason.
I eventually want to try to breed. I'm going to give it a 6 because I think I had to stretch to get it in the theme. But I was like, what fish can I get that reminds me of Easter eggs? And that's how I came up with this fish because it was the most like for search.
Even
Really?
that was probably less of a stretch than the Judas fish, though.
Well, I think Judas fish pay. Well, it's all a matter of just. Okay, so we got one
Who came
Thanks,
up with that?
DD.
and
I don't.
7.
Okay, number 1 is Uncle Smiley, who gave it a 10.
Smiley
10.
got in there again.
He likes some plecos.
Yep.
And
He's from
number
Georgia, so
7
watch
was
out, Rack.
Toony Loonies, who also gave it a 10.
Holy
Whoa.
cow! There's a lot of love out there for the old
Hey.
Pleco.
Nothing wrong with that. Oh, but wait, is there, Ed, anything wrong with that?
I think it's all about moderation, but it's good to love something.
Okay.
Just know your limit. Okay, so we've got 16 and 7 is 23, and then a 43 for the Pleco, which puts it in 3rd place right now. So pretty impressive.
Well, we
Okay,
got to be getting close to done, aren't we? How many do we have
we
left?
are. We've got 2 left.
Who left?
And this is one that's not as fishy, but still is aquatic. The rabbit snail. Rabbit snails are probably my favorite snail. I breed these guys, and I actually breed like the yellow flesh ones and white flesh ones. And they're my favorite snail. They get up to about 4 inches. They'll start having babies once they're about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and they only have 1 or 2 babies a month. And people say they're the only live bearing ones, but they're not. They actually pop the egg out and it pops and it's alive then. So it's not a true live bearing thing. But another thing that's neat about these snails is they're not hermaphrodites. So you need boys and girls. So it's good to get maybe 4 or 5 if you're going to try to breed them, so you don't get a bunch of boys or a bunch of girls. You got to mix it up. Like, traditionally, if you want a breeding pair of angels, you get at least 6 to get a pair. So you can think of it that way. But they like warmer water too. So you can go anywhere from like 75 to $84. So they're a good one to put in with shrimp. You can put them because they won't eat the shrimps. The shrimp will ride on their backs. They also are great with like your rams, because rams are a warm watered fish. So
But they're found in the same habitat as Neocardina shrimp.
Nice.
So
they're neat to see the shrimp riding on their backs.
So they're a hard water, a harder water snail. So rams probably would be the best to have, since rams like soft water.
Good point.
How much do they cost, Ed?
They're about $10 each.
Oh man!
But they breed really slow.
Yeah.
So they're not like your others that breed like 1,000 babies at once. You're only going to get probably like from a pair, 10 babies a year to 12 babies a year. So you don't get a lot of babies.
How many can I fit in a 10-gallon?
Oh,
do you guys
5 or 6
follow Bob?
As long as you're feeding them.
Ben Ochart at all? You guys follow Ben Ochart at all?
No.
No.
I keep mine in a 40 breeder.
I like Ben. Snails that are giant, like they look similar to that, but they're big, and they are overrunning his tank, and they actually uproot plants and all kinds of stuff as they're plowing through the substrate.
Well, these guys don't bury themselves either. They just stay on top. So
I don't know anything about it.
They're also called POSO shrimp. POSO shrimp.
If he has these guys, too many of them, he could take them to the Aquatic Critter and they'd probably give him $5 a piece, or like $7 trade in, I bet.
That's where he's been taking like plecos, because he's overrun with plecos too.
Yeah, maybe $3 a piece. I don't know, but
maybe.
A lot of people see them and they say, "Ooh, a snail that's expensive and everybody loves. I'm going to get those because I have millions of babies," and they just don't. And like literally, it takes 2 to have 1 baby. A month almost. So it's not like a normal snail that's all having babies. Okay, so nevertheless, we talked a lot about rabbit snails. They're super cute.
Yeah, we did.
I messed up once and I put them in with Gadaids, and the Gadaids ate all their antennas off, and that was really sad. So don't put them in with fish that like to eat things. But I'm gonna give these guys a big 7 because they are a great shrimp. I mean, a great snail. Okay. Rack, what do you say about these guys?
The tie into the theme is strong on your part, Ed, but the Easter Bunny was a real wisecracker when I was a kid once and gave me all licorice jelly beans. It was supposed to be hilarious. I don't like licorice, so this connection to the Easter rabbit is going to get a sympathy 5.
I'm going to tell, before we go to Dr. Anthony, I'm going to tell you a bad story of my Easter past. One Easter, we were all getting ready for church, and Dad, while we're all sitting there eating our cereal, he said, Mashib was our cat. He said, Mashib caught the Easter bunny and she's out on the porch right now. So my sister and I ran out to the porch, and she had caught a rabbit and ate its face or its skull out. So it's a full body's there, but in both ears. So it like left its scalp and its back. And my mom was so mad at my dad. And it kind of scarred us for life. Because that's an image that's never left my mind. It's that rabbit with just its ears and a body. Oh.
Well, one Easter I was in high school, we went over to my brother's wife's uncle's house, and he raised rabbits. And so we had rabbit for Easter dinner.
Oh, that's just neat. And eggs?
Was it?
No.
Well, what do you think of the snails?
Me?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll give it a 10.
Whoa.
I like
That's
rabbit
awesome.
snails.
There we go.
Rabbit snails.
Yeah, I should give them.
Stock
You
in the
know,
house.
it's the best snail of all the snails.
Yep.
I also like the devil thorns.
That's
The devil
true.
thorns won't breed in the salt,
You mean
or
in
they have to
fresh
have
water.
salt water.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won't.
But
So
if you have
that's
a-
I've got.
But if you have a female, she'll lay those eggs all over the place, and they're little calcium dots all over your tank. So you got to make sure you get males.
With the devil thorns?
Yeah, all the neorites will do that.
Oh, I must have just males. I've got like 3 of them, and I've never seen a single egg in that tank. And I thought it was because there was no salt.
No, nope.
But and they're long-lived
Yeah.
snails because
Yeah.
I got them before COVID. But they're neat looking. They're like this big. I've been debating if I'd take them out of that tank to a tank where I could see them better. But I'm afraid as soon as I move a fish, sometimes they die. So, okay. Whip, what say you?
I've got a bunny story for you.
Okay.
Here we go.
So this was Facebook, so recently, but not that recent, like 6-7 years ago. I thought it would be funny. Found a picture of a dead rabbit on the side of the road, and somebody had staged a basket with busted up eggs and everything. And so I found that hilarious, of course, and I posted that on Facebook, and I got a call immediately from a friend of the family saying that she'd been going through pictures with her granddaughter. Kind of like your rabbit story, and I may have ruined her for a little while there.
That's what you get for
Peter!
putting a little kid on Facebook.
Right, that's right.
There's a
You know
reason
what?
why Facebook has an age, the lower age limit.
Get your
I
kid off the
have
Facebook.
another bad rabbit story. It's not necessarily Easter, but it's a roadkill rabbit story. I was 8 years older than my brother, so I was like 16. My brother's 8. And we were driving to my buddy's house, and this rabbit was keeping pace with us. There's kind of like a berm in the yard. And I said, "Look, Tim, that rabbit is keeping pace with us." And then all of a sudden, the rabbit goes, boom, right into the car, and I hit it. And it kind of bounced off, and I went, "Oh my gosh." And then I got to my buddy's house, and I was watching his dog because they were on vacation, fed the dog. And when I was coming back, the rabbit was kind of kicking in the person's driveway. So I tried to swerve to hit it to put it out of its misery. And the person was driving behind me into their driveway. So they thought that I was trying to kill a rabbit. And what's worse is it turned out that was a girl that I had a crush on in high school.
Oh,
Not
I don't even
anymore.
remember her name.
Stay away
I
from that,
never-
Ed.
I was afraid to talk to her. She had to know it was me because I was the only person that drove a 72 Mercury Marquis station wagon with a 460 engine. So I was like the roadster from Family Vacation, had wood paneling. You know, I stuck out like a sore thumb. And I think I had my name on my license plate.
Oh,
even.
that would
My
be a
last
definite
name for my
giveaway.
license plate with my football number on it. So, oh my
Tracy.
gosh. That was terrible. Okay.
Jacob?
So, Whip, what did you say about
I'll give it. I kind of put snails with shrimp, only a little bit cooler. So I'll give it a 4. But then Oinky said she liked it, and that automatically kicks it up another one. So we'll give it a 5.
now? Do you like snails a little better than shrimp?
Yes, a little bit.
Because you gave the Bloody Marys a 6.
Oh, but that was because it's a Bloody Mary.
Okay.
He was thinking of the alcoholic drink.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Are you guys ready for the numbers?
Yep.
We're ready.
5 and 2.
Okay, number 2 was Nancy. Let's see. I think Nancy B in Tennessee gave it a 7.
Nancy's had a couple of these.
And your 5 goes to Holly Gibbs with a 5.
Oh, and Holly is hot tonight. Okay, so let's see. We've got 27. And that would make it 34, 39 for the rabbit snail. And we've got our last fish of the night. This is a fish that I just learned about today. It doesn't quite fit with your traditional tropical fish that we collect because it is a
What?
semi-saltwater, but it is the crucifix, crucifix fish.
See, that's
Yes.
3 times fast.
It is hard to say when I've said it all day today, but I've never actually had to say it out loud, I think, and it like all got blurred together. Now, what this guy grows up to 40 inches long. And what's weird about it is, look, it has a second photo. This is the only one that gets 2 photos. Is when the head this is the skull, and it looks like a
Groot.
crucifix. See, like it looks like the cross on top of its head. And so Catholic people across the world sell these skulls to each other, and some of them are painted, like they paint the little, looks like, the Jesus on the cross thing, and some just leave it like this, but it's a big Catholic thing. Now,
Looks
maybe
like
not
Groot.
Catholic American thing. Are
Yeah,
any of us Catholic up here?
It does look like Groot there, right above the cross, right above
Yeah.
the centerpiece.
It could be a
Yeah.
Groot fish too. But I thought that was really interesting. And you can actually
Words are
buy
hard
these skulls
sometimes.
online just for the crucifix on it.
Boots
So,
and hats. Oh God.
uh-oh.
Oh.
Well-
Looks like Jesus is screaming.
It does. It's scary. I showed my mom and she said, "Oh my gosh, that is scary." So,
Well, you'd
But, I mean,
scream
that's a
too if you
big
had a
deal.
couple hammers or get a couple nails hammered through you.
yeah. So the name is spot on. But for a fish, I don't want it in my tanks, so I'm going to give it a 3. Okay, Rack, what do you think of this crucifix?
Well,
thing?
again, yeah, that storyline there was compelling. I enjoyed it, and the fish is brackish water, and
Yeah.
probably would cause some trouble in an
huge.
aquarium. So it's gonna
40
be
inches.
it's gonna be 3 for me.
I think Zenny must be running behind. What does that mean there, kid?
And Whipster, what do you say about this crucifix fish? It might be delicious. It's in the catfish family.
Well, I love catfish, but I don't know if I'm willing to do a brackish tank at all. So give it a 4.
Well, so far that's the highest score. Now, Dr. Anthony, you are a pretty big man of science,
Yes.
and so you're probably into these crucifix fish. Have you heard of this fish?
Never have, but catfish, are my favorite fish when I was growing up. I mean, I used to have channel catfish in a big outside tank all the time. And so, they helped me get into the hobby, so to speak. And with that, I give this fish a 1.
Oh man, you got
Okay.
me on that one. I was leaning the other way.
Oh. This one has a shot
Whiplash.
at
Wait a
beating
minute,
Roman
wait a minute.
nose.
Wait a minute before you add it up. Jeremy has added some new information to the. Somebody has to Google this, or maybe he's just blowing smoke up my butt. But
He
he
says,
said some people call it the Black Sabbath fish, and if that's the case,
I wasn't looking up Black Sabbath today when I was looking up different ideas for Easter.
Rock, paper, fish. Yeah.
Well, okay, you guys ready for the
yeah,
roll?
yep.
Wow, that one's really bouncing around. We got number 1 and
Nope.
number 8.
Number
That's a
1,
7, I'm
Nancy
pretty
B in
sure.
Tennessee gave it a 1.
Nancy,
You
wow,
sure it's a
Nancy,
one?
I think may have beat Seville Steve in the end.
And the 8th voter was Gills to Garden, who gave it
Skills.
5.
So Cinco de Mayo,
Yep, 5th of May.
5th. Okay.
Ocho
So let's see.
Cinco.
6,
Ed Johnson.
10,
Yeah.
You know who that is.
11, 12, 17. Oh, it managed to beat out the Roman nose. It got a 17. So, oops, I'm still rolling dice. So at one, this is known as the all-time worst fish to ever be on the show. But
Good night, Mama
this came in at
Susan.
second.
Happy Easter.
Right. Yes, happy Easter. Night, Susan. So, okay, let's have the breakdown. There's a tie. Uh-oh, we may have to have a roll-off
A
Okay.
roll-off.
because we have our first tie here. The Spade Tail 3-cross betta
Oh,
scored a 50, and so did the Angelfish. Scored a 50. So what we're going to do is we're going to see Steve has 1, 2, 3. Nancy has 1, 2, 3. We're going to let Nancy and Steve tell us, Nancy, which one do you like better? The Angelfish?
This is going to be known as sudden resurrection.
Yes. Seville Steve has got 3. Oh, you know what? Holly had a couple too. Rorschach.
Oinky, that is
Nope,
not even
Holly
a
I think,
question.
just got 2. So what we want to know is we're going to let them break the score. So give us a score, but both will
What?
say Steve.
well, wait a minute, Ed. You're throwing this to the gallery. What do they know?
Well, they're the ones that got the most guesses.
So
And-
you want points
You need
from
somebody
them,
to
or which
ridicule
fish
later.
do they prefer?
Oh no, wait! Now I want you to subscribe to my channel. I love you. Of course, let's throw it to the gallery.
So you want them to point it out, give them points, or which fish they prefer?
Yes. Oh, this is all we have to do. Is Nancy? Oh, I don't know what Nancy scored these fish. She won on the rabbit snail, the crucifix,
Yeah, just let
and
them
the
pick. Let
She
them
gave
do the
angel an
points.
Seville Steve said he prefers the angel.
Okay.
I
Let's
think we
see,
should
what
let
does Nancy say?
Boot Cats decide.
Oh, Nancy B in Tennessee. Yeah,
Yep.
she preferred the angel too.
The
See,
angel wins.
I knew you guys
So
would
you
come
see-
through in the end.
So
That's what they get for being, winning the most.
the good
On the
outweighs
dice.
the bad.
So,
So the
Oinky
angelfish
says
is
the
the
eternal
number
debate
one
continues.
Easter fish.
Who's team Cadbury Egg and who's team Pete?
Cadbury.
Is anybody
Well-
on team Pete? Because those are the most disgusting things ever created by man.
Beep beep.
Well,
beep, beep.
my favorite is the Reese's
gonna
peanut
like-
butter egg.
Which is very similar to the Cadbury Egg, except for it's completely
So-
different.
Peanut butter.
But I would take a Peep over a Cadbury egg. I don't like the Cadbury eggs. I like Peeps.
I didn't think anybody liked Peeps.
Lefty likes
My
Peeps.
dad likes Peeps too.
Ah, I mean,
I
it's like
actually made a whole video last year on Peeps.
exactly, Zenny.
And
They
then-
are icky.
I think I never released it. I had bought a whole bunch of Peeps from a bunch of different stores. Or no, I bought a whole bunch of types of Peeps from the dollar store.
Oh,
And
God.
I tried them all, and I did kind of like one of these shows just
Those
by
are-
myself.
Those are probably 10-year-old Peeps.
What do we got? Is that a chocolate covered Peep?
No, it's a Jesus peep.
Well, it is a Jesus Peep.
Wait, I got to make this Jesus Peep bigger. Oh, it is a Jesus Peep. Wow. That's pretty cool.
I guess.
But the head would be delicious and the rest of it would just be boring.
Nancy's with you. She likes the Reese's eggs.
I've never had the Reese's egg.
What?
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't had a Reese's
Still had
peanut butter cup forever.
Wow, that's a shame. What's your favorite Easter candy, Rack?
Good question. Probably the homemade coconut chocolate covered egg.
Oh,
No, give me a
Coconut eggs are
chocolate
good.
Easter bunny.
you see, and if I got just a plain old chocolate Easter bunny, I'd be dipping it in peanut butter.
You know, in my day when I was growing up, when I was real young, it used to be a solid chocolate Easter bunny. Now they're all hollow.
Yep.
True.
My wife and I were talking about that just the other day.
I think you can still find them, but they are really hard to
Yeah.
come by. I think you actually have to like order them off of Amazon anymore.
I want
The
a
chocolate
white
just keeps getting thinner and thinner.
I want a white chocolate Easter bunny because I love white chocolate.
So, Lefty, it's up to you to get him a white chocolate one. And if you don't want to, Lefty, and I just picked Lefty because that's the name that first popped out when I looked over there.
Jesus. Zeddy wants to
Hey,
know.
Aquarium Punts, how are you doing, Dave?
Important poll here. What part of the rabbit or the bunny do you eat first? She goes for the eyes.
It's the ears. Of course, it's the ears.
I always eat its butt
My
first
butt hurts. Yep. What? Yep.
because the ears are the best part for dipping, so you leave them for last. Just saying.
No. Dip it in.
Awesome, Dave is good.
A lot of
He was
people.
lying to you, Zenny. Just
A
so
lot
you
of
know.
people are agreeing with me on white chocolate.
I don't know if I've had a white chocolate Easter bunny. What do I dip it in? I dip it in peanut butter.
Like actual peanut butter?
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
love
that
it.
I've ever tried that. Like actual real
Oh.
peanut butter. It's not that. I don't know what Reese's uses for peanut butter, but it's not
They
peanut
bake-
butter.
Well, they take peanut butter, but they bake it so it turns into a dried out powder form. And they add more sugar to it and stuff. I watched how they make it, and they didn't want to use actual peanut butter because they thought that it was a little too oily or something. So that's why they were baking the oil out of it. And turned out like a great idea because it really is good. But we have surpassed our hour. Thank you so much, Rack, for coming on and being our super special
Thanks
guest
for
tonight.
having me, Ed. I hope everyone will come say hello over at Budget Bonsai. Find out about my
Yes.
pottery obsession that's
Oh.
going on. Learn what these little pots are all about.
Do
And
you want to talk a little bit about them?
just that they make your life better the more you learn about them. The smallest bonsai is called a mame, and these tiny little pots, barely bigger than a thimble, are going all over the world. We're doing a YouTube international challenge, planting different trees in these things and doing follow-up videos and so forth. Heck of a lot of fun. Love to share it with you. Check them out. Leave me a comment. We'll talk about you having one to plant a tree in if you want. That would be great.
Is there a way to order those?
Not yet, but following the collaboration, we're having a big expo, online expo in July, and the tripod, because of the shape of the bottom, there's going to be a big part of the expo. Following the expo, all of the viewers are going to have a chance to get a tripod.
Nice.
Right
Oh.
now, the YouTubers are getting them in exchange for a video using it to make a little bonsai plant. So this is 1.0. We're up to 4.0 now. You can learn all about it if you're interested. And I tell you what, I'd love to have a conversation with Dog Anthony about some of those tropical plants that you can use bonsai styling techniques on. that haven't been introduced to the bonsai hobby yet. That would be a cool conversation.
I was thinking right now, my Nano Petite behind me might work.
I know a lot of
I'm
people that
growing.
use aquatic plants and just grow them terrestrially.
Mhm.
And especially these small pots, they do really well in a terrarium or in a bed of sand or other substrate, kind of artificially enlarges the pot. So anyway, it's a tangent, it's a rabbit hole. Be careful, it can become an obsession, but it's very enjoyable. So I share it with good intentions and hope you like it if you stumble over there.
Well, hopefully we can get you on again before July, and then you could tell us
Yeah.
more about it then to give us a warm up again.
Anytime. I
prep.
loved your theme tonight, Ed. I had no idea you were doing an Easter theme when you texted me earlier and said, "Do you know any fish with the name Cross in it?" I thought it was because I was coming on. I'm so vain. I didn't know it had anything to do with Easter.
Well, I was figuring since that's your last name, you would be more aware to fish with your name in it. So that's why I thought that's why I would ask you. Because, like, you know, I don't know. It's just, I
Zen.
think weird.
But it was a good show. I'd love to come back, is why I said that. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
And
Thank you
just
so much.
so before we get off of Rack there, not to detract from what he said, but he also has a channel called Bird Garden that
True.
if you want to see all different kinds of birds, especially the ones at your feeder, I know that live
24/7
goes up.
live stream.
Yep.
And
So
let me
you
tell
can
you
check
guys,
that out too.
if you have a bird question, I have actually texted him. You could probably do it on Facebook with him. I don't know. Any way you can get a hold of Rack. If you need to know a bird, he can help you out probably 98% of the time, maybe
I
more.
probably already have done a video on the Bird Garden channel.
I've texted him just the sound of birds, and he could tell me what the bird was. That's awesome. Yeah, I got a new bird that I just saw yesterday in my backyard. It looked like a finch, but it has a red top on it.
Could still be a finch, house finch.
It was some type of a finch, but it had a real red, like well, that doesn't look bright at all, but it's bright in my hand. Maybe this is brighter. Nope.
Look up a house finch. They're real common where you are.
Well, it was pretty neat. I was out there trying to kill carpenter bees and looked at the bird. And nothing personal towards people that love carpenter bees, like Nancy B.
I would say the best and surest way to get a hold of me is to leave a comment on a YouTube video. Also,
Yes.
the old River Life channel is still functioning as Pond Life channel.
Yeah, I
So
wasn't
that's-
sure how active you were over there. I haven't seen anything pop in that one.
I haven't made any new content. Ed has seen the Bird Garden and the Pond Life. They're side by side, but the 24/7 live stream of the birds, the camera just is a little bit off of the pond, so you just see the birds.
Actually, you're one of my thumbnails from like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think. I have your kois as one of the thumbnails. The koi that I've never found the right white, pearl white, to paint this guy for you.
Well, keep after it, Ed. I mean, take your time. You can't rush these things. I don't know when you started that, but
a long time ago.
The place that I cleared, I made a shrine for it. There's a light that shines on it 24/7.
Oh,
and nothing's there but dust. It's very thick, dust covered now.
Well, I was gonna probably enter it because I have an idea if I could just find the right white, but I have an idea of how to make it pearly with a clear coat. And I was thinking about entering it in the Clash.
Oh, you
and
should
then
do it.
Giving it to you after the Clash.
That'd be fantastic with the first place ribbon that you get.
That'd be awesome. I've been pretty lucky so far lately with my fish at the Clash for the 3D art.
Yeah,
but
you're not lucky. You're good.
Well, I don't know, but I appreciate it. And Dr. Anthony, thank you so much for coming up with us. And Whip, thank you. Now, Whip, you're coming to Tennessee tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. Got to be up at about 3 a.m. and we'll be on the road by 4:30.
Yeah, he lives a far way away, and he actually comes and visits quite often, Rack.
His
Considering
property,
what-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not hanging out with Ed.
Not
Not
this
enough.
weekend.
Cigars. Yeah.
Last time he came, we were going to hang out. We were going to go somewhere, but I ended up having to take my mom and dad to something.
I thought it was
I'm
the
their
door.
chauffor. So when they have like special events and things, I kind of have to be their driver. I don't remember what it was, but and my mom and dad are heading to St. Louis on Tuesday, I think, or Monday. But they're going to do a 2-day trip because my dad will only drive during the light. So he's going to drive like 3.5 hours, and they're going to get a hotel and go to Menards, and then go the other 3 hours the next day to get to St. Louis.
So is Menards a special place for them in their heart?
My dad was literally at Lowe's today writing down prices of things so he can compare them to the prices at Lowe's or at Menards.
That is
He has Menards
fantastic.
money.
Oh, okay.
You get rebates and you get Menards money back. And he'll buy like big power tools at the end of when we lived in St. Louis, he was there every week. Now he's only there 3 times a year because we don't get the closest one's, several hours away. So
Before you
we were
leave,
originally from Council Bluffs, so they were up in Iowa before they got to Missouri. As soon as they got to St. Louis, he moved the next year. So he finally got one close and he moved away. What were you going to
2
say, Whip?
things. Nathan, you're full of crap. You're the one that bailed on me the second time.
Oh, poor Nathan.
And the second thing was before we leave, I have to know: are you on Team Reese's Peanut Butter Cup or Team Snickers?
Snickers.
Peanut Butter Cup.
Oh, it's a
Snickers.
tie. Oh,
What are you, Whip?
which one do I have in my hand? That's my favorite. I would have to go probably Snickers.
And then it was just 2 against 1. No, I'm sorry.
I'm like, oh, my internet just took a crap.
I was going to drop one of them if you said Reese's to break the tie. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful Easter, and we'll catch y'all on the flip side. Oh, I don't have my goodbye going. So while I set that up, does this look anything like me?
Exactly
Oh,
like
Oh,
you.
no.
Spitting image.
I thought that was a picture of me. Oh, I was going to ask, where'd you get the video of me with that
That was-
flowy hair?
That was a long
I
time
wasn't
ago.
wearing
if
my
that was you.
bandana.
Thanks, mods, for posting my links. I love you.
Oh, mods, you guys were amazing. And everybody that came tonight, thank you so much for coming. Thank you, Rack, for reminding me. It wouldn't be a show without you guys.
And I
So-
thought you were going to do a giveaway for that Goby.
I don't have access to Australian fish, but you should go and let's see who's the first Australian I'm going to see in this list. Do we have an Australian here? They're running right now. Oh, come on, Catfish Craig. Come on, GRB. I have no Australians in our show tonight. What are the odds of that? Well, since there's no Australians, we have no hookup.
Okay.
So we'll try next time.